Alright, Homesteader family, so I've had some response on my firewood, and a lot of people don't understand. So here's all my firewood over here. I cut it into 2 foot lengths. It's all whole, and a lot of people are wondering why I don't have a splitter, why I'm not splitting the wood, etc., etc. So this video is going to be exactly what the title says, why I'll never own a splitter again, or why I'll never buy a splitter again. And that's for a simple reason. If you go up to a tree and you flick a cigarette butt at the tree doesn't catch fire. But if you throw that cigarette butt in a patch of dry grass or wood chips, boom, it catches fire. Now the reason for that is because the natural defense of a tree is this right here, this hard bark. And it's semi fire resistant, but it does burn. Of course, everybody knows that. It's still wood. But because of the moisture that it holds and everything like that, it keeps the tree from burning immediately. When you split the wood up and you have those little wood hairs and pieces of wood all over the place, as my pooch is over here, Minnie Mouse being a doll. She hears me talking on camera and she wants to be in it. Right, mamas? Yeah, that's a good mama. Yep. And so anyhow, the reason I don't do that is because I say firewood. If you burn whole logs, you won't burn as much wood because everybody knows if you put a nice fat log into the stove, it will burn through the night. You don't put small wood in your stove when you're ready for bed because you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold house wondering where my heat went. Now, I do split some wood. So I don't not split wood. And this is the wood I split. I just split the logs in half. You can see my hand up next to the size of that log, or this big log. I mean, this is what everybody's burning as firewood. Now you're thinking, well, why do you just split that little bit? Well, the reason I split that little bit is because I need those fine hairs and those chunks and stuff like that to catch fire easy. So I don't do kindling, and there's a lot of people that spend way too much time on kindling. We're only here for 100 years, aliens maybe 200 years, and we're gone. So I'm not wasting my time doing kindling. So for those of you that don't know what I do, I take a piece of wood and I put a small piece underneath, or actually what I normally do now is I lean it up on the fire brick wall inside my barrel stove. And then over here, this is the easiest kindling in the world. Strike a fire. Okay? Now, you know of the logs that you put in and they burn. Well, this has 48 fire starters in it. And basically, they're like giant matches. So you have the red tip right there that you strike on the box, which I don't even strike on the box. I take this, I break this into about 4 pieces, sometimes 5 or 6, depending on how good the wood is at starting. I take a tiny square piece of it, not a whole one, and I sit it right back underneath like that. And I light the piece, and like I said, it's not a whole stick, it's just a small piece, and that piece will burn really, really hot. And it burns on that open cut of the wood, and it catches the small particles, the small wood shavings, and it catches that on fire. And then on top of the split log, I put a couple round logs over top the top. So that way, that gets the fire going, and I don't have to split a bunch of wood. I don't need to spend $500,000 on a wood splitter, gasoline, maintenance, storage, everything else that comes along with a wood splitter, and all those hours. You know how many hours that would take to split 3 cords of wood? And you're lifting wood, moving it, lifting wood, moving it, lifting wood, moving it. And you're moving the same log, 20 times during the winter when you can just get it from the woods, move it here, then move it into inside, and then into the stove. So then you're only moving it 4 times. So this is what I do. For those of you wondering why I don't split wood, if I do split wood, how I start my fires and everything like that. Like I said, go to Walmart. It's a Diamond Strike-A-Fire. There's 48 fire starters in each one. It's like $8.99 a box, or $9.99 a box, $10 a box. And I go through maybe 1.5 of these a year, if that. And I think I have like 6 or 7 boxes inside the house because they're just always good to have. So that's one thing to consider. Stop wasting your time on chopping up small kindling. Stop wasting your time picking up pine cones. I did that for many years. I would go out all over down here, pick up pine cones, fill 55-gallon drums, store the drums, and then mice would get in them, and it's just a headache. So do it smart. Pay the $10 for a box or $9 for a box, and or 2 boxes, depending on how many fires you have a year, and make big wood work. It lasts longer. You burn less. Like I said, I only burn about 3/4 of wood here at the house. For those of you that haven't seen the size of the house, let me walk out here. And you can see, so I had the whole upstairs that goes all the way back. I had the downstairs, I had the middle and the front. And like I said, 3/4 of wood heats this house all winter long. So something to think about, something to consider. And plus, I'm here in Cotopaxi, Colorado. The coldest winter we've had with wind chill is not 52, negative 48 degrees. I heard it gets negative 52 at my new place, but negative 48 degrees here. Up here in the mountains, 8,500 feet, 3/4 of wood. Something to consider, something to think about. Talk to you guys later.